I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about my insecurities pushed her away. Well, one of the things that we don't learn growing up and becoming an adult is how our insecure behaviors really turn people off. And sadly, many of us are very unaware of those insecurities and issues. And a lot of times you guys don't even find out about them until you've come to this channel. And I understand, because even though I was a clinician and, working in the field for years and even studying relationships and breakups for a long time, I didn't know a lot of this stuff until I went through it and really obsessed about it and studied it for a long time. What's attractive, what's unattractive, and that our issues really come out when we get attached to somebody else. And so if you don't work through those issues, the more that you have, the more severe that they are, and the more that you're triggered, the more likely you're going to act in a way that turns your partner off and ultimately can ruin that connection with somebody else. Now, I've got a good email coaching today from a guy who's about 30 years old, and the girlfriend was a couple of years younger. They dated for about a year, right under a year. It was about a week before their anniversary, okay? So he goes on to say that the relationship started because I'm good friends with her brother and have been since middle school. Okay, so that's interesting. He's known the brother for a long time, about half his life. I never really knew about her until a year ago. Now, I found that interesting, right? How do you not know about your friend's sister? She's not that much younger, just a couple of years. Maybe, and he said it's a good friend, so I thought it was odd. Maybe they're like half siblings and she lived with another parent, you know what I mean? Because it's odd. How will you not even know about her? They should have been in the same school at least at some point, if he went to the same school with his friend. I was at her mom's house for her brother. Then we met. She asked if we could hang out one day together. All right, so sounds like the friend was cool with you doing that. So we did. I took her out. And ever since, we just connected. We both said it feels like we've known each other forever. Well, you were kind of close on that, right? Just outside of knowing each other all those years. She was the most loving, thoughtful person I had ever met. I instantly fell in love with her. See, that's not healthy. To instantly fall in love with somebody is not healthy. I mean, think about if you got a new job and you were working at this new job for a month, and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what? My new boss, who I've known for a month, is my best friend in the world. Just met him a month ago. You're going to be like, wait, what? Doesn't that sound kind of crazy? Well, how is that any different? In fact, it's even more severe to say, oh, I'm madly in love with somebody that I don't really know. Got to be aware of these things. And secure people know not to do this. When you haven't had your needs met and you've been neglected your whole life, it's easy to project a fantasy on somebody you don't really know. Now, I know it feels so good when you like somebody new and it's exciting and you feel great. I get it. But there's a big difference between having a strong attraction and wanting to see where it goes and saying, I instantly fell in love. Okay? You don't have to believe me, but you can go ahead and keep trying it and see how that works out for you, okay? You're not gonna like what happens. Take your time getting to know people. Okay. He goes on to say, just to play it safe, because I usually don't get into relationships because I'm an all-in person. I'm close to 30 and have only had 3 serious relationships. But we eventually made it official, and we started hanging out every other day. She always wanted to be around me. Okay, so you can see her interest was really high, right? She always wanted to be around him. They were hanging out every other day. Things were going really good. Then, one day, I got a text from a random number. It was her son's father. Saying she was only with me because he treated her wrong, and it wouldn't last, and kept texting me nonstop. Okay. So this guy comes out of nowhere, and now, first of all, how did he get his number? That's what I wonder. How did this guy get his number? And now he's saying, oh, she's only with you because I treated her wrong? He should have said, thanks for treating her that way. She's happy now. But I think, I'm just kidding about saying that. This guy obviously is going to be problematic. Probably just better to block him or change your number, because you can see it's going to get worse here. Saying she's only with me because he treated her wrong and it wouldn't last, and kept texting him nonstop. Or you could have called the police, because, we don't know how serious this guy's going to get. I told her she should probably go home and we would talk about it later. She told me she hasn't heard from him in a long time and wasn't in her son's life. So this guy doesn't even care about his own kid. He just finds out about her moving on, and it makes him nuts. Like he says here, until he finds out about me and wanted her back. Yep, that happens all the time. And ever since that day, he harassed me and her. Unbelievable, right? This guy doesn't care about her. He doesn't care about his own kid. But then when he finds out she moved on, it's like a bruise to his ego and makes everybody crazy. I didn't let it get to me. A month into our relationship, we took a vacation with my parents. It went good, but he blew up her phone nonstop, which kind of got us into an argument. But we didn't really let it get to us, although it was starting to. She was at my house always, and always wanted me over at hers. I eventually got attached to her son, taking them everywhere. And the harassment from her son's father was every other day. Now, I would have changed my number, or blocked this guy, or called the police, or all of the above, because he sounds pretty unhinged. He sent me pictures of my house in text. Okay, so he's threatening you, okay? That's a threat. In other words, I know where you live. I'm taking pictures of it to let you know that I know where you're at. That's a threat. Texting me that he still sees my girlfriend. In other words, oh, she's really cheating on you with me. I'm not an insecure person, but as months passed, I was always asking her about him. What's he saying to her? Okay, so you were being insecure at this point. It got to you. It was bothering you that this guy's coming around, harassing you, maybe putting thoughts in your head that she is spending time with him, and it's really wearing on this relationship. He started to want to see his son to get to her. Of course, he doesn't really care about spending time with his kid. He's just trying to get her back, only because she's moved on. So a little jealous and insecurity started to show with me about him. Yeah, I think a lot of people would have been upset in that situation, frustrated. You don't know how unhinged this guy is, how mentally unstable he is. So yeah, it can get pretty crazy and scary, and who knows what he'll do to her. Really difficult situation. He was abusive to her in the past, and he was on drugs, so he was crazy. Yeah, see? This guy's unhinged. We would argue about him often. Boy, so he's now becoming like this focal point in your relationship. And then one day she called and said he went to jail because of some serious, sick allegations. Okay, so this guy has really got some serious problems. I don't know what those allegations are. I'm sure we can use our imagination. Hopefully there was nothing that he was doing to the son. But when you're saying sick allegations, it's making it seem like some sexual kind of assault, maybe on kids. I don't know, but he's going to jail. So at least he was going to jail. So I was somewhat relieved he would be gone and things would be better. But she just got depressed and spaced herself from seeing me less and less. Okay, so what is she depressed about? Depressed maybe because of the allegations, like, I can't believe he would do that. I don't know if it was towards the son. Obviously, if it was, then that would make her really upset. Maybe she would feel really guilty. Maybe she felt ashamed that she could ever be with somebody like him, that he did those things. Obviously, he must have been found guilty because he was going away. But that would be really overwhelming. I told her I understand that once a person she loved, and I know it must be affecting her. Okay, so that he was once somebody that she loved. And her son, yeah? And that's his dad. It's awful. She would not talk about it to me because she knows me and him hated each other. So she felt she couldn't even talk to you about it because of how you always reacted about him. Maybe she's wanting to say, you know, I used to love this guy. I still love this guy because he's my son's father. And I can't tell you, feeling like she can't tell him that. Not that she wants to be with him, but, they have a kid together. Then something happened where she lost her job. I took up all her bills till she was mentally okay. All right, so that was really thoughtful of you. I sent her flowers, gifts, everything to make her happy. But she still didn't want to see me or hang out much. Okay, so at this point it sounds like you're coming on too strong and probably overwhelming her. I know you're trying to be there for her. She's depressed. She's got a lot going on. She probably feels guilty, overwhelmed, worried about her son. But you were probably coming on too strong there, and you were scared to lose her, right? It caused me to always try and make plans or see her when she just wanted space and time. You see, that's what I'm talking about. You were getting anxious, and she's overwhelmed, and, at this point, she probably is confused and not ready to spend so much time with you, where she was really eager in the beginning. Now she's not. She said she wanted a break, but I convinced her to just let everything be, and I'll be there for her. See, you're trying to convince her. You're trying to force it when she probably doesn't want it. Months later, she was just angry towards me, but I stayed and did every little thing for her. Okay. So she's angry because she didn't really want to stay, but she did it because you'd guilted her or talked her into it, probably. And now you're doing all these things for her, and now it seems like you're the caretaker of this relationship. You're insecure. You're trying to force yourself on her. You're pressuring her. It's really turning her off, right? I think the best thing you could have done at this point was just to say, look, I know you're going through a lot right now. I love spending time with you. But I'm going to respect your space. Call me when you want to see me or get together. And, it's not that you don't care, but you also can't force yourself into somebody's life. And you're trying. Flowers, gifts, doing this, doing that. I'll do anything to be with you. And it just makes the other person feel like, oh, this is too much. But she would go out on girls' nights. Okay, so that's even more frustrating. So you're trying to see her and she's going out with her girlfriends and you're like, oh, you can make time for them, but you can't make time for me? You could already hear it, right? And wouldn't make time for me. Yeah, see, that's what he said. I had a feeling he was going to say that. I got depressed about it. Yeah, I mean, because you thought you had this wonderful, great, amazing, magical thing, and it just disappears. And like, how does this happen? How did this happen to you, right? Like, you thought it was so perfect. Next thing you know, you got this crazy guy stalking you, driving past your house. You find out these crazy allegations. He's in prison, and now she doesn't want anything to do with you. It's like, what happened here, right? She just kept getting more distant. Yeah, the more you were pressuring her, too. I started talking with a friend that was a girl. She blew up about it, saying, it's 1 foot in the door of cheating. Come on. I think she was looking for an excuse to get angry at you. What else is she going to get angry for you at, right? You're doing all these things to try and make her happy. You're paying her bills. You're buying her flowers. You're doing this, that, the other, trying to please this woman. And so she's got to look for something to get annoyed at you for. So she said, oh, well, you're talking to this other girl. Yeah, but meanwhile, she's going out on girls' night. I'm not buying it. She started questioning pictures I liked on Facebook. See, she's just looking for excuses to get mad at you. I'm not falling for that. Then I was just trying anything for her to see me or spend time with me. She started not caring at all, but I loved her so much I let her be and took how she treated me just to be with her. You can't do this, okay? This is a big problem that a lot of people have. I'm going to say this again. She started not caring at all, but I loved her so much that I just let her be, meaning do anything, and took how she treated me just to be with her. This is not okay, and it doesn't work. If you just allow somebody to do whatever they want to you and mistreat you just so you'll have them, they lose respect for you and they'll want to be with you less. They won't respect somebody that they can mistreat so poorly. They won't. So don't ever tolerate somebody mistreating you just to keep them, because it doesn't work. In the long run, they just lose respect for you more and more, and then they don't want anything to do with you and they don't really value you. You have to value yourself, and you don't want to ever tolerate being mistreated like that, okay? I felt like I would accept the hurt just to be with her. That's what I'm talking about. You can't do it. I mean, there may be some of that in relationships sometimes, but it can't be this one-sided, desperate thing. It just doesn't work. When I told her I loved her, she said, I know you do. And when I said something about our future, she said she is not focusing on the future right now, meaning she's probably not seeing you in her future right now. I just kept in my head how we used to be and how she used to tell me she could see me and her getting married. Yeah, but, you know, she was also saying that to you when she didn't even really know you. And that's what you can't ignore, is that she was doing this when she was like, what, dating you for like a month or two? And I got so attached to her son that I told her near the end that we were still good. I would raise him like my own. And I've been there, man. I understand getting attached to somebody's kid and loving them like your own. I've been there, and it is very painful. It's one of the hardest things I ever had to go through. So I get it. It's tough. But, you know, you can't tolerate being mistreated. She's only going to respect you less and less. She always said she loved mine and her son's instant bond. But she went out with friends one night for girls' night, and the next morning I said, can I see you? She said, not today. I said, can I see you the next day? And she said, I don't think I can do this relationship anymore. I begged, cried, told her if I lost her, I lost two people because I loved her son. She hung up cold to me. Cold, that's concerning, right? What's going on here? She was out for a girls' night, now she's acting cold. Who did you meet on girls' night? That's what I want to know. A few days later, her brother needed help moving. We had to stop by his mom's house. Remember, he's good friends with the brother. She was there with her son. I told her I missed her and if I could say hi to her son. She got mad and went inside and told her brother, "Why do you bring him around?" That's mean, okay? This should make you pissed off because this is not right. She included her son in your life. She should be empathetic and understanding that you had a bond with him. And she's so selfish right now. I could see it, I could feel it, and I know it. But it's not right. It's messed up to be that cruel to this guy and to the son who had a bond. I know she's frustrated and maybe in her mind she's like, I just want to move on. I don't want this guy around. But you can't do that to your kid and you can't do it to this guy. Some kind of resolution needs to happen with them so they could talk about things. It's just cruel for her to be like this with him. She tells him, I love you, I want to spend my whole life with you, and then this is how she treats him. It's just awful. Then text me saying she stopped loving me a while ago and to move on, and that her son is nothing to me. See what I'm talking about? This is cruel. That's really cruel to say. That's awful. That's really, really hurtful, and I really lose a lot of respect for this woman. I talk about the Applebee's girl and me and the bond with her daughter, because she was only about a year old when we started dating, right? So she wasn't even talking. So of course I was like her dad. I know that bond. It's really tough. But she never was like cruel about me and her relationship. She was really understanding, especially because of how devastated her daughter was. She would ask the family members about me every day. Because she said, you got to stop talking about him. And she only just started asking the family members about me because she missed me so much. So I really do not like how mean she's being about this. I just texted, I love them, and never text her back. It's been a month since I have spoken. I hurt every day. I break down every day. I feel like I'm a passenger in my own body, and I go through the day just there. I don't feel like myself anymore because not only did I love her, I was in love with her son. I don't want to move on. I don't see why she just gave up. She said our relationship was built off trauma and that she wanted to be alone. See, I was right. But I found out she started talking to somebody, which is probably why she was so cold. I feel like my world is crashing. I feel like I'm drowning in anxiety all day long, and I act like I'm fine with it. But I'm tired of grieving the loss of people that are alive and I can't talk to. I've been in no contact for a month. I'm dying just to message her. I know there are plenty of people out there to be with, but I want her and I want her son. What do I need to do? How do I get things back? I just wish her son's father went to jail. She could have let us continue to be what we were. I know people move on, pain ends, but I don't want to be without them. They're everything in me. I'll literally give up anything to be with them and have them back. See, that's the wrong attitude. You can't have this attitude in the way that you're thinking. It doesn't work like that. She already knows that. And what happened when she knew that? She started respecting you less and less, treating you worse and worse, and getting more and more smothered. And the relationship kept getting more and more one-sided. And you're just saying, I want more of the same. Me, 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 me. She has feelings too. And you can see that feeling like this isn't going to make her change her mind. It's not. I know how you feel. I understand it. I empathize. But that's not going to get her back. Okay? You need to respect yourself. And you need to say to yourself, I love this woman and I love this woman's son, but I am not going to be mistreated. I'm not going to be neglected. I'm not going to be in a one-sided relationship. And until you get to that place, you won't get her back because she'll smell the desperation on you and it will turn her off immediately. And she'll probably chase after some guy who doesn't even care about her. She's probably got some serious issues herself, based on this other guy, and how cold and cruel she's been with you and immature about everything. She came on really strong. Everything is about her. And you don't want to ignore that. You got to tell yourself, look at how she's treated me. She could do it again. I respect myself and I love myself enough to know that if I give this another chance, she's got to treat me right. She's got to treat me the way I deserve to be treated. She needs to apologize for how cruel she was, how selfish she was. Honestly, this is a situation where, I'm not going to reach out to tell her this stuff, obviously. I'm not recommending you reach out. But if she reaches out and acts like she's coming back into your life, I'm going to be slow and I'm going to have this attitude of look at how you treated me. Look at how these went. What were you thinking? How come you did this? Now, again, I'm not saying you do this right away. This would be something where she's trying to show you that she wants you back in her life. And you have to respect yourself enough to say, whoa, I need to understand some things that happened here, because I didn't like the way you were treating me. I thought you were really cruel to me. And, like I said, I know some of you are going to hear this and think, I should reach out and do this. No. I'm not telling you to reach out. I'm saying this has to be a slow process of her showing you that she deserves another chance, that she will earn another chance with you, and I would make her work to get another chance with you. Not the way you're talking about with this desperation, and I'll do anything to have her back. It won't work like that. It will not work like that. I'm telling you. She's got to fight to get you back after what she did wrong here. And she knows she mistreated you. She knows how much you cared about her. And what did she do with your heart when she knew that? She was cruel and hurtful and mean. And you don't want to ignore those things, especially in an extreme situation like this, where she just acted so cold surrounding you. And as much as you did to be a good partner for her a father-like figure for her son, make her work to get you back and have some reservations that you can trust her after what she did. You always got to take your time getting to know people. You got to work through your issues, because if you don't, you're going to get sucked right in when somebody says that they like you and give you attention. But when you become secure and confident, you're less likely to be manipulated or be desperate with people and having one-sided relationships where people mistreat you and walk away. Okay? A lot going on in this situation. Obviously, if you want to get my help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, go to askcraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.